Good evening and welcome to our new surroundings. We have moved out into the main part of the house. I had to take my Segway, and travel all that distance from the office over here. No, I'm only pretending. It's big, but it's not that big. But June is away. My eldest girl has a football final tonight for the Southern Gales, and her brother and sister got evicted because they would not allow Daddy to have the time he needs to have this wonderful time with you. So yeah, I'm home alone. If anyone wants to come to a 8:30 party right over here, I hope you're all well. Thanks again for being here tonight. It's in such great numbers, and it's been an overwhelmingly positive week. I had some nice discussions today, some voice recordings with a lovely couple who are just proving this works. Vibration that they've changed. Each individual has changed their vibration through study every evening. I mentioned them yesterday evening. A slight slip of the tongue, but I got away with it. I mentioned that they're studying from 9 until 11:15 every night, 9:30 to 11:15. That's dedication. I think they must put their kiddos to bed or something, or else they're working late or something like that. But they sit down at 9:30 and get started, and they haven't missed a night. And he's seen his business prosperity increase, and she has seen hers. So I'm looking forward to welcoming them into the academy very soon, which is a lovely message to get. I'm really just excited for them because it's lovely when you have that support and you have that togetherness, and we know it can be difficult at times to get that. So fair play to both of them, and I give them good instructions as to where to take this and keep going. So that's lovely. Messages like that. John, thank you for your message during the week, and a lovely conversation with a lady who spent some time in New York and is home now, and God willing, we'll be spending a lot of time together in the near future as well. You know who you are. We had a good old chat earlier on. It was funny because I was actually on a call with my colleagues. I had a quick look at Messenger and I was like, oh, that girl's in the masterclass. And I just clicked on and asked her some questions, and it started a great conversation. I haven't had too many conversations with you guys, so I think that was a sign for her at this stage. It was lovely the way it happened. It was a great conversation. So got me thinking, as well as actually listening to her, getting some of her replies. So I really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the whole week, and it is coming to an end today. It will be the last time I'll be doing some teaching with you guys. I want to welcome, we have some people. Actually, what I'm going to do is, I don't want to start listing names in case I get them wrong. I'm going to get Ernestine, if you wouldn't mind, send me a quick message there, just so I can list out the names of people and welcome them. I know we are, I just don't want to get the names wrong. It's important. So welcome to the people who have already enrolled, and we had some people heading off to the bank today and this type of thing. So it's really cool. Lovely to see you coming on board. At 8 o'clock tonight, our magnificent, marvelous, what else can you say about her? I have to practice that one to give her a better introduction. But Megan Casey, many of you know her well. You've been chatting to her all week. She's an extraordinary lady. I'm really blessed to have her. Look at the Jack Russell. Blessed to have her in the academy with us. An amazing teacher, amazing mentor to our colleagues in the academy. Megan's going to pop in later on into the group, and she's got some questions that have been coming to herself and Dusan and Yelena. And we decided kind of at the start of the week, well, why don't we just answer these live instead of sometimes a question pops up in the chat and it's a distraction for me to go and answer them over and back, and it kind of takes the energy down a little bit. So we've collated all these and we're going to do it at 8 on the dot. So stick around for that. Yeah, that's the other thing. I am dog sitting, and they may make an appearance. But you know what? That's really, really good that happens, because digging into results, the academy material, what we do, it's for life. It's for personal and professional life. And stuff happens, and that's the way it is. You know, I've been trying not to keep getting an image that like my parents are going to call over in the middle of this and they're like, "Hi, Dec," and I was like, "I'm working here," you know. But these things can happen from time to time. So we'll just play with it, and you get to see how absolutely ordinary and normal this whole business is, because it's everyday life events, and that's what you're dealing with. It's thinking, you know. Vibration and attraction is all a form of thinking, conscious and subconscious thinking. So you're attracting things, you're reacting to things. I've really got a really cool list. I've never read this before in any masterclass. I was going over it today. I'm going to read it out. It's going to get you answering some really good, honest questions to yourself. So will we start off with some prize winning? Look at this. Megan's amazing. Breda and another Facebook user, same thing, of course. Jennifer, Megan's amazing. There you go. Yeah, we'll just put that. That's her full title. Megan is amazing, Casey. Okay, very, very good. Well, welcome again. And again, guys, you've helped us to beat a record. It is yet again over 100 people tonight. So that's fantastic. It's been great all week, and we really are really honored and grateful that you've taken the time to spend this time with us every evening. And I think we've been giving value for money, as they say. All right, well, let's get into it. So who wants to hear the last couple of prizes? Well, first of all, I want to talk to the dancing queen herself, one of our many rebels that come and show up here for this masterclass. I think you all know, worthy winner. There was some great dancing in there, but every time I was on my phone today, I could see her dancing away over in Cork. So I have to say, this is going to you. I've no doubt she has it already, but we'll figure it out. Sinead, congratulations. This has got to be your book all day long. You were the one I could see. I know there was some other dancers as well. You know, we have to pick one winner. So congratulations, Sinead, for that. Ernestine warned me not to look at the winners list of. So we have an overall competition, which is for 2 nights in the Hotel Europe in Killarney. And it's been shared all week, and people have been sharing it and commenting. And I think many of you have arrived into the masterclass. Either your friend shared the competition link and you goes, "Oh, what's that?" and you found your way into the masterclass, or you were sharing it yourself and you were very active in doing that. So it took off like a rocket. The points are up in the thousands. I purposely kept away from it all week. I just wanted it to take care of itself, and I've been given the result tonight. So I'm delighted for the winners, worthy winners. There are people who really give a lot from a very open heart, and they deserve it. They really, really deserve it. They had a busy summer, and they deserve it at the end of the summer. So I just want to say, well done and congratulations. So let's go. A dog sneaking in behind you. Yeah, that's our puppies. That's Ginger and Ben. So they haven't got all the house rules just yet. So it'll be for your entertainment. Watch me hold my attitude 10 out of 10 as the puppies are going around in the background. Okay, so if I put on a video, you'll know I'm probably trying to get them out the door. Okay, I don't have a video even lined up. All right, let's go into this. Let's get serious. This is about creating a whole new you, my friends. But we take our work very, very seriously, but we have a lot of fun along the way, because that's what we should have. I think people have ideas of that this has to be hard and has to be serious. It's not. So we have a lot of fun along the way, all the while changing lives and helping people to make massive, massive changes in their lives. So let's see, stop screen, share screen. Here we go. Okay. So now we are going to say the Vibration and Attraction Masterclass, the Day 4 competition winner. So yesterday was called Absolute Freedom. And the prize was a night away in this beautiful dome structure. Now, I don't know who won it, so I'm just going to press play. Let me see. Yes, you can see who is there. So let's press play, and away we go. Lovely. Okay, so Joanna Makowiecka, you have won the prize to go and spend the night under the stars in that beautiful dome. I happen to know this lady works with interior design, and so she is going to be. She deserves it. You know what? If anyone has proven that you attract it, this is her life art design, and this is so unique. It's perfect for her. So congratulations, Joanna. Well deserved. A very popular winner. Let's watch now. So here we go. Drum roll, please. This is the prize. 2 nights away in Hotel Europe in Killarney. It's a gorgeous hotel. It's absolutely a stunning hotel. I would recommend anyone there who's trying to raise their vibration in the spirit of opulence, go in there and have even just go and have lunch or have the afternoon tea. It'll really get you thinking about living on another level of expense. I remember saying to my mom and dad when I was leaving the hotel business to start my acupuncture career, because I'm that kind of a guy, 20-something years of age, I still check with mom and dad. Pure Kerry man, of course. And I just said, look, I'm going to do it. And they said, well, why won't you stay at the hotel management? You're doing very well. And I said, Mom and Dad, I want to be a man who stays in 5-star hotels, and I want to bring my family to stay there like it's nothing. And they said, oh, the big ideas by you. No, they're extremely supportive, but that's just the mindset. And I'm sure many of you could relate. But now I do that. So that's pretty cool. I do stay in those places. So that's pretty cool. But anyway, enough about me. Who is staying in the Hotel Europe? Drum roll, please. I better stop the dogs and start barking. Here we go. All righty. So, Caroline Daly, congratulations. I'm probably going to be Joe or myself you're going to bring along. I don't know. We'll see which one you take along. We might be persuading you, but if there's ever a worthy winner, it's this lady. Has been sharing the link like crazy all week. And I, not just for that reason, I invited a lot of our clients to the island last week. We had a kind of a semi-retreat, I suppose, within reason with the whole restrictions and all that. We met at various outdoor locations. But Caroline was just incredible. She was treating the whole week like it was her friends visiting. Well, they are friends. Everybody in the academy really gets to know each other very well. We were welcomed in multiple times. We were welcomed into her farm and into their ice cream parlor. They make ice cream here in Valentia Island, and her name keeps popping up in conversations. When I have my conversations with my clients, I must come down anyway because I'm coming down to see Caroline, and I'll call, and if you're around, I'll say hello. It's like, is everyone coming to see Caroline? So a very worthy winner, a very popular lady. She's been following us for a good couple of years as an interested person looking in from the outside. We go back a long way. Me and Caroline, our parents are very good friends, and she was kind of always watching in about what I was doing, and eventually bit the bullet and became a client last year and has gone on to join us as well in the academy. So congratulations. You deserve it. There's only one way to win it, and it's by being number one, and you did that. So congratulations, and Ernestine's going to be in touch with you and all of the rest. Okay, take care and best of luck. So everybody, we will leave it at that for now. Now we're going to get back into a new you, which is really, if you think about, we started the lessons with a poem one night, and it was every blade of grass, every flake of snow. And he ends up by saying that magnificent, wonderful you. Well, how does one go about creating a new you? We've got some questions coming through, like, I don't know what my goal is, or how do I make a goal? You see, there's a person in the future that is living with your results, and the results that you want, but you don't think you're that person yet. On Monday, when Bob couldn't make it, or Rosh didn't make it, there was a lady going to join us in between there, Shauna, who's just a wonderful, wonderful person, has created, deserves all the success she gets because she's a real deal, like a really vibrates on a lovely, kind level, a very nice lady, comes from a teaching background. And I noticed that when COVID happened, even though she was in a completely different field of business now, she was sharing all her free resources that she built up over the years for parents who were unsure what to do at home and stuff like that. So always thinking about others, and when you give, you get. So she was willing to come on and take Bob's place and all that. But that lady, I remember sitting with her at one point, we were talking about her future, and I asked her to go to the future, which she's living right now, where she's a global leader in the world of fashion, inspiring young women here, especially here in County Kerry, in a pretty rural part of Ireland, to create such an amazing global phenomenon that is Style Search, And I was saying, think about her, what's she doing? Well, she's on the stage, and what's she wearing? And she was thinking of the outfit. And I goes, look at those girls at the back of the room. So I was kind of picturing, we went in our vision, I was picturing these two young girls that had skipped out. My wife was teaching in Killarney up until last year, that they'd skipped out of my wife's class, and they ran up from St. Bridget's in Killarney up into the hotel to watch the, oh, 95 Style is going to be there, you know, to watch her on the stage and looking up saying, I'm going to be her someday. And I'm sure she was quite uncomfortable when I was doing it, but I could see that vision. And if I can see it, I was like, you should be able to see it. But her present self-image and paradigm would be locked into who she was January 2020. But I was locked into who she is December 2020. And that's who she is now. And I didn't do it. You know, maybe I sprinkled or planted some seeds there, but she did it. She started thinking on that level. I was a bit disappointed that Bob couldn't help us out. And then, you know, this lady had wonderful reasons she could not help us. And that is just the true fact. And it just happened. And that's the way it goes. Something came up, she couldn't be with us. And I didn't go all sad. I wanted to stay in a high vibration. So I stayed in a high vibration. And a gentleman that we haven't talked in a year contacted me and he's like, hey man, how are you doing? I was like, can you help me in 2 hours? He's like, yeah, of course. And that's how it happened. So she got on that vibration. I'm sure, you know, the lady who won the, Claudia, who won the helicopter trip, she got on that vibration. Like, she actually sent in a picture of her in front of a plane, dressed for parachute jump. You know, she's like, I'm going to be there, you know. And I know a lot of people were thinking about it, but it's not like, oh, by accident. You know, you make a decision, you're going to get onto that level. Now, when you don't know what you want yet, it's because you're still on this level of vibration. But one of the first things we do in the academy is we spend at least a week asking you questions that you've never asked yourself before. So I'm going to get into some of these questions, and I want you to take some time. You may not even have the answers yet to write them down, but it might be just yes and no answers. But I read this today in Think and Grow Rich, and I hadn't planned on it, but I've never done this before in a masterclass, but it's really, really good. So I want you to ask yourself these questions. Do you find that you complain about kind of feeling bad? You're just feeling off. And if so, what's the cause of that? Do you find fault with other people with the slightest provocation? Now, a lot of the answers to this are probably stuff you keep inside. And with this masterclass, it's probably one-to-one anyway. I said at the start of the week, imagine I'm talking directly to you that this masterclass is for one person. But are you somebody that finds fault with other people with the slightest provocation? Do you frequently make mistakes in your work? And if you do so, why do you think that is? Do you deliberately avoid associating with people, with some kinds of people, not people in general, but certain groups or certain types? Are you sarcastic and offensive in your conversation? Do you suffer frequently by thinking that life seems kind of futile and the future is a bit hopeless, aimless? If so, why do you think that is? Do you like your occupation, or are you kind of fed up with it? Are you envious when you see other people excel, or do you look at them and go, awesome, great stuff, that's fantastic? What do you spend most of your time? Where does your energy shift to most of the time? Visualizing your success or worried about failure? Are you gaining or losing your self-confidence the more that you're growing older? Do you learn something of value every time you make a mistake? Are you somebody who's permitting a relative or an acquaintance to worry you all the time? If so, why is that? Do you sometimes find you're just going away into the clouds and feeling a bit despondent? These are like, are you someone who's careless in your own personal appearance? You kind of just throw it on and say, oh, it'll be grand. Would you call yourself, do you neglect, oh, hang on, some of them are old and not very appropriate. So how many times do preventable things happen and annoy you? Do you resort to liquor, narcotics, or cigarettes to take the edge off more frequently than not? Have you got a current method by which you can guarantee that you can shield yourself against the negative influences of others? Do you make a deliberate use every day of auto-suggesting the things you want to see happen in your life? A deliberate practice every single day. Which do you value most, the material possessions in your life or the privilege you have in being in control of your thoughts? Now that answer is where advertising companies and mobile phone companies and all these different companies prey on us with advertising. And not good enough if you don't have the 12, if you only have the 10 or the 10X, you don't have the 12. The lipstick, like the best lipstick ever adverts were out 20 years ago, but now it's the best ever with a pH this, and you can clearly see how much lipstick I use, but you know what I'm saying? It's always been the best ever. You can't not have this next one. So people are generally, the advertising world, or we're watching programs we like and they cut out so we can watch advertising. It's preying on that fact that people really spend a lot of time trying to get stuff rather than trying to control their thoughts. We're easily distracted and busy. So this is the list. It's a list in Think and Grow Rich, and it's self-analysis test questions, but it's wrapped up in a chapter called The 6 Ghosts of Fear, because the symptoms of fear are really kind of very common traits that we all have. So let's look at a few of them. Fear paralyzes your ability to reason. Now, tonight's called a new you, because you can't create a new you if you're still going around in states of fear. So you might say, I'm not fearful. You're only afraid when something pops up. But for example, if a person is indecisive, I was messaging a girl today. She goes, I've been thinking about doing this for 2 months. You can make $1 million in a week. You can get one idea that changes your whole world. And if you're in 2 months of waiting time, you're in indecision. So I love gardening. And if I go out and I plant my seeds, I water them, I check them, I weed them. I would not go out then in the middle of the night and put loads of like weed killer over them and go back in. That's about as intelligent as waiting and not making a decision. Decide absolutely no or absolutely yes. Don't have these words. I don't know. I'm not sure. And we're gonna probably cover some of these later on in our Q&A. But indecision is a precursor to fear. You should go back and watch the clip that Doug had with us last night, because Doug was an indecisive man. And now he has learned through this material how to become decisive. It was like my coach held me up as a bit of a golden boy and, oh, look at all the results he's gotten and the 6-figure income, and you only ever made 35 at the very most before, blah, blah, blah. And I said, look, I'm happy to do this, but I really want to talk about the power of the material. What I've changed outside is grand, but I'm a happier dad, I'm a better son, I'm a more productive person, I drink less, I eat better, and I become a decision maker. I was so indecisive. Now it's like, nope, let's do it. We could have something going over and back in the WhatsApp, and I straight away go, nope, decision made. It's so good. It gets you to the next level. You make a mistake or you don't, but at least you're moved away from the indecision, because it's so draining. And I'm sure many of you are feeling that now, how it sucks to be in indecision. So fear is the result of indecision. It is like, normally, like fear can come through if someone says something to you, it can go straight in and it's fearful. But if you take a long time to make decisions, you will induce fear. So let's go ahead and let's see what happens when somebody stays in indecision and it creates fear. It paralyzes our ability to reason. So we can't think rationally or reasonably. We start kind of daydreaming about the worst case scenario, and then that becomes our new worst case scenario. And we're probably even going to end up in that worst case scenario because we're thinking about it, and that's how it works. It destroys your imagination. So your imagination is, to me, someone said to me one time in a podcast interview, if you could have a superpower, what would it be? Now, years ago, I probably would have said, oh, invisibility, and I'd walk in and I'd rob a bank, the old teenage boys' answers, or I'd like to be able to fly, or what superpower? And I didn't know the questions that were coming in that particular podcast. And I said, I already have one. I said, I can create thoughts out of things using my imagination. And it actually brought a few clients into the academy. People heard me on the podcast and contacted me through Instagram. They said, I love what you said about imagination. John Lennon, you may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Because you see, we're all dreamers. What was it? Willy Wonka. And the girl is like, she's slagging him off because he says, snozzberries? What's snozzberries? And he says, my dear, we are the music makers and we are the dreamers of dreams. That's what we all are. She's kind of ridiculing him for coming up with something. I presume it was Roald Dahl's way of getting a statement out to the world. Stop slagging off the dreamers. He goes, we are the music makers and we are the dreamers of dreams. Every musical, Dusan and Yelena's Home, Megan's Business, my business, all of these success stories throughout the history of our academy, and all of those that are just starting today, they are taking soft, gentle, delicate ideas and imagining energy around them, and an energy will be attracted to them. If you live with fear, if you're an old you trapped with fear, you are going to use your imagination against you. One of my favorite books is by James Allen. It's called As a Man Thinketh. And this is well over 120 years old, I think. I think it's about that. He said, a man back then, this was available to us back then why are we not born and raised and taught that thoughts become things in schools? Like, why not? It's just, Why did that couple's prosperity increase? Another gentleman commented, I put a post there. I was on a call with a guy yesterday morning, and he started chatting to me, and everything he said about money was about, and I'd be worried about it. And I was like, this is great. Asher, this is perfect. I'm so glad you booked this call. I said, do you have Think and Grow Rich? He's like, it's right there in front of me. I said, go and read the chapter on the 6 ghosts of fear. And one of the 6 ghosts of fear is the fear of poverty. No, I'm not saying you're afraid of poverty, but you're in harmony with lack of money. And you're waiting till you get it to relax about it. You relax about it and you're going to get it. I said, you've got to turn the fear of money on its head. I want you to buy a coffee for £3 and tip him a tenner. I want you to do this and do that. And all the stuff that happened to him in one day, it's in that text message in the Facebook group. But he's in harmony with prosperity now. He's not in harmony with lack. Money is not, he's not a servant to money, which is a man-made construct at the end of the day. He knows it's just energy and he's in control now. And I'm so happy that we had that conversation yesterday. That's the value, like that one conversation. I think he's doing trading as well. If he's believing in a trade rather than, I hope that goes well, no. If it's like, I hope it goes well, it's like a psychic disease that's praying for the opposite. You're saying on an intellectual level, I hope it goes well, but you're vibrating that it's probably not going to go well. Ah, damn it, you know? So anyway, this passage explains that man is made or unmade by themselves. In the armory of thought, we forge weapons by which we destroy ourselves. Or we can also fashion tools with which we will build for ourselves heavenly mansions of joy and strength and peace. When I read that series, that's good, isn't it? When I read that self-analysis, the self-analysis piece from Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, when I read that out there, and you were saying, yeah, that's me, or no, that's not me, or yeah, I'm a bit like that. You were probably taking ownership of some of those habits, but you've got to understand from this week that there's energy all around us, and we're just vessels for that energy. But our body and our brain is not a no thing. They're hard, real things that we live in and we carry around. And they're at the wheel, but we can change them. They're controlling the flow, but we can change them. So our paradigm, when we change it, which is a mindset, it's mind over matter. So it's mind over brain and mind over body. And we take ourselves and we put ourselves in different situations. We go into conversations with a different intention. We invest things in a different way with a different level of confidence. We say no to things that we don't want to put into our bodies, and we say no to conversations that we know are going to drain us. You see, when you commit to changing your paradigm and your self-image, you're changing the vessel and the mindset that flows everything through us. So when Napoleon Hill talks about here that the faculty, that fear is killing off your ability to imagine, it's helping you, instead of getting you to have conversations and put yourself in decisions that will build for you heavenly mansions full of joy and peace and strength. It's getting you to imagine, oh, she's going to be over here now today. She's going to be like a bitch. Wait and you see now. And that's what's going to happen. Next week, now, sure enough, I'm after getting a raise. Wait and you see, the car will break down. It's absolutely incredible. The Secret was a great movie. Look, I always say that and I disagree. It needs to be updated because it's like, I was just dreaming about checks in the mail, and then there was checks in the mail. And I was like, what are you on about? Like, it's too far out there. This is really, like, I love that we're doing this here in Ireland with the flipping South Kerry accent and the few facts here and there, because people think this is a way out there. It is, you're doing it every day. You know this, you're doing it. You laugh at this because you know that I know you're doing it. You're doing it all the time, and you're just not doing it that way because this fleshy meat and bone thing is hardwired with your old paradigm that you didn't ask for, that you didn't create. But you're one of 119 people out of a country of 6 million people that are watching this now. So why are you here? I don't know. Maybe something somewhere is pushing you in the direction of changing. What do you think? When will I ever get a break? Oh, I need to see the signs. This is the sign. You're like 0.000% of people who are listening to this tonight. Not in a fancy way, this is the real way, and you bloody know it. Anyway, I'm getting excited. Let's move on. So fear, if we leave it in our life after today, if we don't choose to make a new you happen, if we leave fear flip and take us around in this one life that we have, it's not a dress rehearsal. If it winds you around County Clare and County Kildare and it takes you to the shops and you're back on the treadmill again, then fine. But it's not you that you didn't say, I can't wait to wake up on Monday morning and do the same thing all over again. Fear has made you stay there, and that's all right. But you've got people there that are going to help you. I'll help you. Your success advisor will help you. But at least you know it's not you. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just a paradigm that you can change, and you can change it two ways: a massive life impact, bam, or you work with us and we help you to change the paradigm forever, permanently, so it just keeps getting better and better. Let's go on. Fear kills off your own self-reliance. I'd love to, but I can't. What do you mean you can't? You can do anything. You can do anything. It undermines your own enthusiasm. I'm a bit tired today for now. Don't bother with that. It discourages your own initiative. I couldn't now. I'd love to, but I can't. I'm only a this and I'm only a that. It leads to uncertainty of purpose. There is a person I talked to today. They're incredible. They've traveled, they spent 10 years in a top job in one of the toughest cities in the world, and they're stuck as to what to do next. There's people, I guarantee you, that went to school with that girl and go, wow. She's quite young, and she's at a top job in a top city in the world, and she's underestimating what she can do. She is no, I had to hold back on how amazing I think she is, because I don't know her that well, but I know her way better than she understands. There is no way you get to that role in life without being extraordinary. Her paradigm is going, and it's talking nonsense into her ears, and she needs to get around other people that talk sense into her ears, and I think she is going to. But anyway, so what that's doing to her is it's wiping out her enthusiasm, and it's encouraging her procrastination. Fear is, not her. Because you see, what starts to happen is we own that crap then. We go, look, I always try and fail. So you call yourself a failure, a procrastinator. How's my darling Bernadette, the Kerry woman that's living over in Cork? We chatted the other day, and the minute she said something, and she was like, oh, flip it, you're going to kill me, because I really watch the client's words. Because the words, I don't mind if they say something. It's like, I will maybe next year, hopefully after Christmas, whenever maybe. It was all like, someday. I was like, hang on a minute. She was like, oh, no, sorry, I meant to say. But, she wanted to say it, but it showed her who was in control. The paradigm was still saying, maybe. And I was like, you've got to say, I'm doing this after Christmas, right at this time, right on this date. So that attracts you what you want then. So basically, guys, fear is there. I still have fear. I had fear telling me that last night was not a very good night's presentation. I told the lads this morning, they're like, what? So fear tries to get at you. And you know what? I'll let you in on a secret. It's never going to go away, but you're going to see it. Like I like to liken fear and moments of confusion and feeling a bit stuck. Like if you're at a race course and you're on the horse and you're galloping along or trotting or cantering, I don't know what a horse does, it runs, okay? So you're going along and there's a jump, and then, oh my God, there's another jump, and oh my God, there's another jump. And that's probably what life is like right now. Hurdles and jumps, and sometimes it feels really chaotic. It's like, geez, am I going to get a break? There's something every week, especially if you have kids. Oh my God, something at school or something, or next thing there's a drama or, whatever. Anyway, you're skipping along and you're jumping through the hurdles. But when you get the academy into your life, what starts to happen is the hurdles, all of a sudden, you're like, I haven't had a hurdle for a while now. And you're like, I can't see any problems down the road, because you're not attracting them, number one, but you don't even see the things that are problems as problems anymore. I spoke to this wonderful lady. She's an actor, just finishing one production, just starting another one, being cast in a major commercial. And this woman was like, I don't even see problems anymore. I don't react to them anymore, or I handle them better. That's an example. So what starts to happen is you're kind of going around the race course going, I think I've entered the wrong race. There's no hurdles here. I'm a hurdles horse. There's nothing. But next thing, oh, hang on, I see one miles away. When you see the drama coming, you've so much time to prepare for it, and you're so ready for it. So I'm going to get into that a little bit more in a while. But to create a new you, we've got to create a new you. So let's start with the quote first of all, okay? I want you to write this down. To create a new you, I can't do it for you. I can help you, but I can only help you if I'm working with you on a full-time basis. But I'm going to get you as much as I can tonight. Right, so to create a new you, I want you to write this down. Mr. H.L. Hunt said the following: there are only 3 requirements for success. Let's see if I can put this up on the screen here. Share screen. Yeah, there we go. Good man, Decky. Right. He says there are only 3 requirements for success. Write them down. There are only three requirements for success. The first one, you must decide exactly what it is you want in life. The second one, you must determine the price that you're going to have to pay to get the things you want. And third, and this is the most important, you got to resolve that you're going to have to pay that price. I'm not just talking about the investment to make into yourself to join the academy. What I'm saying is I made a decision. What I wanted in life was to surround myself with an amazing team. They would be clients. They would understand the material. They would come through and maybe join my company as a part of my team and help us to grow this company and help more people, especially here in my home country, to just wake that beat up and really go after the life you were born to live. So when I made the decision to do that, I had to form leadership skills. I had to develop. I had to grow my self-confidence. I had to change my self-image. So firstly, I decided what I wanted. I got very clear on it. I did the first lesson of the program, Think and Grow Rich, for about 3 weeks. And I kept going over, what do you want? What do you really want? Why do you want it? And I went down and down and down and right through it. And this week I was kind of in bits really at times, reading what the guys would say, you know, hi, I'm Huey, I'm from Wexford, or hi, I'm Elaine, or hi, you know, I'm here and this is what I do and I'm a member of the team here. And it just blows my mind. This is what I wrote down. I decided what I wanted in life. Secondly, I decided to determine the price that I was going to have to pay. I had to give up habits that were not serving me, and I had to become more disciplined. I had to invest more money, a lot more money, to get more systems and more things in play to make life easier for having a team, hire more people, all these different things. So that's a price I want to pay. I made a decision of what we're going to do from the 1st of September this year till next year. And I've looked at it and I've looked at, you know, how many, maybe close to 100,000 it's going to cost for marketing that in the next year. So what I want, what I'm going to have to pay. And the third and the most important thing is I've just resolved, well, that's what it's going to take. Now I'm open to it taking less. I'm open to it taking less time. I'm open to the universe granting me lots of beautiful things, but I've resolved myself to the fact that it's going to take time. You guys have ideas that you want to, you know, get the results that you want. First, you have to decide what they are, and we help you with that. Secondly, the price you're going to have to pay is, if you're not willing to do a half an hour to an hour every day from this masterclass onwards on your personal development, then I really, with the greatest of respects, you don't deserve the results that you're pining for. You don't get, you know, freedom is not free, and working in personal development frees you from so much of the difficulties that you find yourself going through. So freedom is not free. That's a quote Bob talks about a lot. It's in the Korean War monument, I think in Washington. It's scrolled across the side of it. It says, freedom is not free, because people give their lives for freedom in that war. And so you've got to make a decision that you are going to be investing time and money, or you are not going to get the results. And that's just the way it is. So decide what you want, decide what you're going to have to do to get there, and then decide that you're just going to do that. Okay, so that's H.L. Hunt's quote. Now, I want you to go to the next side, okay? Stop screen. Okay, I want you to go to the next page, and we're going to get into some pretty cool stuff about how you can create a new you and how you can absolutely get rid of fear out of your life. Now, this takes time, and that's another thing I love about our academy is we're not going to say, oh, it's going to happen in a week, because I'm presuming the majority of the people who are on here with us are, one moment, I need a drink, about 21 years plus that. And by the way, we have people in our academy in their 50s and their 60s, and we have people in the academy in their teens and 20s. So everyone is doing the thinking stuff, and we're all thinking all the time. You can actually, I got ideas from my kids based on problems they were having. You can get inspiration from anyone, anywhere. And my little great-great-grandchildren would walk into my deathbed and ask me a question, and I could give them an answer, and that answer could get them to go off and be inspired to create the next Apple computers. So we're all using the thinking stuff, maybe even from before we're born and after we die, we don't know. But for the time we're in this world, we are using the thinking stuff. So it's for all ages. I just wanted to say that. But I know there's people on here who, I don't know why I started talking about that, 21 plus. Oh, yeah. So if you take away 7 from the age you are now, let's say you're 50, so take 7 away. You have been programmed for 43 years to have the habitual patterns you have right now. Look at how long you're in a relationship. your new paradigm has been getting involved with that relationship for the last few number of years. You've got habits in that relationship. You do certain things in that relationship. Look at the way you do your job. It took you a while to get going, but now a lot of it's very habitual. So for you to change your life like night and day, you need to take a little bit of time. But we have people getting results in the first 2 or 3 weeks. Look at the people who are doing the masterclass and saying, I'm already seeing results. That happens too. So it can be very quick. It can take time. But one thing I'm going to say is the results can happen very fast. But for you to overcome fear, you are changing generational programming. Remember I told you I was talking about some of my family and everything's like, what's that? I say, oh yeah. They usually presume it's going to be something bad, and they're relieved when it's not. It's just the programming. It's my mom's side. I love them all. I love them. I love them. I love them. But it is what it is. Okay. That's just the way it is. And I find as well, like I used to be like that, worried about fear and then worrying about fear. And then all of a sudden, so I'm totally changed from this material. Okay. Let's go and share something really powerful about how we help people to get rid of fear. Let's see the window. Excellent. Alrighty. So let's start off with another quote by that man, James Allen, that I just talked to you about. So James Allen wrote the book, As a Man Thinketh, right? And James Allen said, people are anxious to improve their circumstances. I would just take a quick picture of this or a screenshot or something. You don't need to write it down. I'm going to skip on anyway, but people are anxious to improve their circumstances, but they're unwilling to improve themselves, and therefore they remain bound. People are always buying stuff to try and get themselves happy. When the circumstances are right, then I'll change. And that's not going to happen. Okay. So they want their life to change, but they're unwilling to improve themselves. And that's, that was a hard punch I got in the stomach from Arash a while ago. Actually, it was a few years ago, but I'm just repeating what he told me. If you're not going to put a half an hour, 45 minutes to an hour a day into redesigning your whole future, then you don't deserve the results that you're pining for. And that he told me, I was pulled in up at Kells Bay, halfway between Carsavine and Glen Bay, and it was a right good Arash Vasagi gut punch, just like he knows how to give. But I'm grateful for all of them. Okay, so let's have a little look. School gave us all valuable knowledge. Okay, let me take myself out of the equation here. Actually, I want to give you guys more of the screen. Where are you going there, Deco? All righty, there we go. That's better. Let me get back to that now. Okay, so where are you going, James? Okay, so school gave us very valuable knowledge. And school never taught us how to alter our old paradigm. So that's why I say, like, we really have got to get this into the hearts and the minds of the children of the present and of the future. Most of the clients in the academy do this with their nephews and nieces and sons and daughters, and some of them work in schools and creches, and they start to get people thinking about how do you want it to be. So therefore, we frequently do not do all the things that we know how to do them. Loads. There's been people on other masterclasses going back over the years, and they're all inspired on the last night, and I'm going to change my life. And it fades away. Unfortunately, it fades away, because they're not around us. They're not immersed in this. They don't have their success advisor. They don't have me in their ears 5 days in a row. I'm like this all the time in the academy, all the time. So you're on that level and you're attracting everything on that level. So people have superior knowledge, but inferior results. Bob's like, we got people with, what is it? They got letters coming off the end of their business card, superior knowledge, inferior results. And it causes confusion and it causes frustration. So when we look at the stick person, the top half is the conscious mind and the bottom half is the subconscious mind. Well, the top half is where we know stuff. Oh, I know that. I learned it, was it grey soil, or is it stony grey soil of Monaghan? All those poems, we know them off by heart, inside out. The sonnets, the choric song of the Lotus Eaters. Oh my goodness, Spira Gyra. What did we make in home ec? Oh, for God's sake. The things like green cakes and all this stuff that we got in school, and they could have been telling us that everything is energy and it just vibrates and you think about what you want and you get all the answers. All you got to do is close your eyes and ask and you shall receive and all that stuff. But anyway, that's only silly old nonsense, isn't it? So paradigms are locked into the subconscious mind. If you want to know where your paradigm is, look at your present results, look at your recent past results. That's going to give you a clear indication of what's going on in the subconscious mind. If I call Dusan's number in Croatia, I am not going to get Megan's number in County Clare. If I ring Trish up in Sligo, I'm not going to talk to Kathleen up in Leitrim. I'm going to get Trish, you know? So paradigms are getting you exactly, they're ringing and dialing out all of the time what you want, and they're keeping it at that level all of the time. Bob said it in the video the other night, it's so easy and it's so misunderstood. Now, when you use your paradigm shift and you change the outside results, what starts to happen is you get a new paradigm, and this new paradigm gives you a new set of results. Now, sorry, another way to do that, hang on, I'll just skip on this way. Another way to do that is to understand that people who are living in ignorance, they will always have fear, doubts, dramas, circumstances. Oh, woe is me, I never get a break in life. Every one of us has a choice. We have a choice to live a life with knowledge. Now, people say I know that, but knowledge is not the same as getting an understanding of it. I know a lot of things, but I don't have a deep understanding about other things. I am very knowledgeable, but I have a massive understanding about how this works. I love watching people at the beginning, middle, and the end of their journey. And I talked to Yvonne today. We did a quick chat, Yvonne Donoghue, and we were having a quick Zoom. And as I was chatting to her, she just said something and immediately corrected herself. She doesn't just have knowledge of it, she understands it on a deep level. I'm sure you go back midway through your time with us, Yvonne, if somebody said something, you were talking, it would have rattled you, but now you just go, oh, that's interesting. It just doesn't get through. Do you see where the word choice is on the top? See that layer below it? That's the layer where someone goes from being all over the place to being extremely wise. I believe that is the greatest gift I give my clients. That line between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, going from a reactionary person to someone who responds chest out, chin up to every single thing. One of my first clients was a lady who was really badly treated by a gentleman who she eventually got. I say gentleman, he was a guy, and she eventually got him out of her life. She was left with her daughter and not a lot of money, needed some help, found me on Instagram. I didn't even know I was on Instagram. I must have clicked something on Facebook and it gave me an account. I don't know. She found me on Instagram, called me up, was really persistently trying to call me because I saw this Norwegian number and I thought it was a scam. I eventually answered the phone and we started working together. And that line, when I strengthened that line with her, this guy started calling around and they had to sell a car. And she was like, just take it, I don't want it. And he was like, no, we're going to sell it. But I told you that every week I'm over here on Friday evening, you better sell it and you better sell it at this price. The control was there. Like, you better sell it at this price. I didn't ask her to do it. She just developed that reasoning factor, the ability to choose, not fear and ignorance, but knowledge and power. And she just said, do you know what? I'm grand. I don't need the money. Why don't you take it and sell it for whatever you want? And he knew he had lost the power struggle. And she realized how it all worked out. And to me, it was, now, if anyone thinks this is just about business, I mean, you must see story after story, the confidence and the decision-making. I mean, Doug Dane's story is just, it's incredible what that man went through. And look at him now. This is about thinking and self-empowerment forever in whatever you do. But if you live in ignorance and you're not practicing it every day, it is incredibly hard for that just to miraculously happen. I would go so far as to say it's impossible for you to make the change, okay? So when a person lives in ignorance of how incredible they are on an hourly, minute-by-minute, daily basis, they're a little bit hardwired and easily fall into someone who lives with worry and doubt. So I want you to write down on this sheet, well, first of all, draw the stick person in the box there. Oh, sorry, I've taken my camera off. It says I versus K. Draw the stick person in the middle. And then where it says I, that stands for ignorance. So put a minus sign under ignorance and put a plus sign under knowledge. Now, the first thing you see there is worry and doubt. Worry and doubt is in the conscious mind. You have the ability to reject worry and doubt. Worry and doubt would be, oh God, you know this message? Hi, can I call you? Give me a ring when you get this. You know those messages, and it's like, oh, what is this? They're either ringing out for a cup of sugar or there's a clanger coming my way. You know that one? So you have the ability to accept or reject. You have the ability to say, they're just ringing to say, I can take the kids at the weekend if you want, or they're just ringing to say, any chance I could borrow the Hoover. You know what I mean? Like, but the way you can read it, it's a worried out. That's just a small example, but it can be very big. The news can say, you know, we're being locked down for a year, and people could have worried and doubted and feared. And other people said, well, it's an opportunity to do something else and to grow and to change. But if you don't learn how to control that, if you live in ignorance of how to change your paradigm and how to make a new you will worry, doubt, and fear. And what starts to happen is we suppress that down. The anxiety and the fear, we take it into the body and we suppress it. Like, we don't go around telling everybody, oh yeah, I'm really anxious today. Oh God, I'm really fearful. We just put on a brave face and we say, no, I'm grand. Yeah, fine. Yourself, grand. Yeah. And you change the subject and you make it about them. And, you know, so the idea, the cloud, the idea is a minus idea in the conscious mind, but without controlling that middle ground, that reasoning factor, you take it into the body and then you suppress it and pretend you're grand. And then that can lead to depression over time. And when you're in a depressed state, your body is in a state of dis-ease. You know, you've stomach problems, you've sleep problems, you're irritable, you take it out on the people you love, you make excuses and all these different things. You're in a dis-ease phase. Even if you're trying to pick yourself up and go off and do interviews and different things, if you're still in that worried out fear state, you're kind of presenting yourself in a different way. But when you empower yourself and strengthen yourself, there's a massive energy and a confidence bursting out of you. I can tell you, for those of you, my friends over across the border, right at the roundabout in Wilton, I was there one night and I was in such an anxious state. It was like my feet were stuck in concrete. The number 8 bus went by and another one went by and another one went by. I didn't want to go back up to Bishopstown to where my wife was. She was my girlfriend then, because I didn't want to worry her. And I had rang in sick for work. I couldn't go to work. I was full of anxiety. A group of tough lads came in on the previous weekend. They ran up a big bill. They knocked me to the ground as they ran out the door and went away. So the poor little the country mouse was up and I was dealing with the city mice, you know, and it really rattled me a lot. I was only about 19, but I was a manager of a bar. I was 20, I suppose, and it rattled me a lot. And I was in a state of dis-ease and disharmony. And I bought my first ever personal development book in Waterstones in Washington Street. It was called, or in St. Patrick's Street, wasn't it? It's called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff by Richard Carlson. And it started me on a wonderful road that you're now part of as well. So dis-ease leads to disintegration. And that means your results are going backwards. And it's a real crappy spot to be in. It's not nice. Okay, what's the opposite of that? Well, the opposite of that is if you're in this really bad state and somebody goes, quick, I need you, the house is on fire. You forget all about all your problems. You jump up, you run out, and you help them with the fire in their house. But unless there's a big major shift like that, you're going to stay in that worried out and fear psyche, and it just keeps going and going and going, and it becomes a new habit. But the other way to change your life is you get a faith that is based on an understanding that you are incredible and you can do anything that you want. And I think a lot of you are believing that on an intellectual level, but because every single one of you haven't said, yes, let's do this, I know there's some people who are still not 100% sure of who they are on a subconscious level. Bob's always saying you're God's highest form of creation. There is nothing that will ever equal you. And I believe that too. But I don't think you believe that yet. I think you have a bit of mild faith about yourself. But when you understand how this works and how you can make it work, you understand that the keys to freedom are with a pen, a paper, community, accountability, discipline, and material. And oh my God, off you go for the rest of your life, just onwards and upwards. So a thought power is constantly coming to us. It comes to us in a form of thoughts. We're generating our paradigms and we're sending out a vibration. This is the vibration and attraction masterclass. And you have the ability to choose plus or minus. Well, if you choose the plus and you decide that you're going to create a life based on knowledge based on understanding. Understanding is developed through this word study. Now, some of you might say, like the lady who's been contacting me about her, as she said today, such a beautiful, handsome, wonderful husband. Right, Paul? This lady said today, she didn't say that. I'm saying it. You know, it's Friday evening. Let's get some appreciation going up in that house over there, right? But anyway, when you develop your study, he was saying, I can't remember studying anything in a long, long time. It's studying yourself. It's studying this material, but it's studying you. It's just the best study you'll ever do. I've got children and I've got a wife and I have dogs and parents, but I've made myself the most valuable person in my life, because when I put myself first, everyone around me has benefited. And I feel younger and fitter and stronger, and depression is never going to get its way around me. It tries, but not again. I'm going to touch wood. That I don't believe it ever will again, but that's just the way it goes. You have to study how magnificent you are and how magnificent this information is. Now, what starts to happen is faith. Faith is the opposite of fear. You start being, look, it is going to happen. Come on. And you've been that person. I know you've been that person for somebody else. Come on, look, it's going to be all right. Don't worry about it. Have faith. You'll get there. But when it's towards yourself, a lot of the time you lack that faith. You're very good at coaching your friends. You're very good at advising your other people, but you lack that faith in yourself a little bit, but not anymore. When you develop the knowledge and the study, you get an understanding of how powerful you are and how powerful this material is. That faith in yourself puts yourself in a great state of well-being, an amazing state of well-being. Now, you don't suppress the well-being, you express it. If you see a certain shine and a confidence to all of the people that helped me out this week, your success advisors, the energy that jumps off that phone when they message you, that's because we're expressing our confidence, our happiness, because we're unleashing our own potential hourly, minute by minute, weekly. Even when we're asleep, things are coming to us because we're sending out ideas of what we want. Now, this accelerates. So I came up with an idea this morning at 6 o'clock. I emailed Laura and Ernestine. They're soon it's like they're the brains and the heart of the company. They're just a great double act who keep everything rocking and rolling. And I said, can we please talk between 7:30 and 9:30? I've got an idea. We got the idea down. We made the decision at 10:30 to talk to the team about it. The idea is underway. That idea would have taken me 6 months to come up with and to execute before. We're in an acceleration phase. An acceleration phase puts everybody at ease. I don't care about what we're doing in our company. I want you to pay attention to you. When you study you, when you get an understanding of how amazing you are, it gives you so much faith in yourself. So much faith in yourself. You live in well-being. I have not been sick I think I got symptoms of COVID last year. Prior to that, I did my ankle in. Prior to that, I have no recollection really of being sick. My kids don't really be sick, thanks be to God, touch wood. You live healthy. You're vibrating on a level of opulence and happiness and kindness and giving, and time slows down. You're excited about things. You're at ease all the time. I keep having to check my phone and saying, am I late? I'm not late for anything anymore, I'm at ease. And that makes you create. A lot of people say I'm not a creative person. Everybody's creative. Everybody's extremely creative. But unfortunately, what's happening is ignorance is making us disintegrate, whereas knowledge would make us create. We're living in ignorance of how beautiful and incredible and amazing we are. And I know you're feeling it this week. When you guys are thanking us for this, thank you, Declan, it's amazing and all that stuff. There's a large amount of that saying, thank you to yourself for going through the 5 days, for doing the written work, for taking the selfies. You're happy with yourself as well, because you put yourself in the position to feel the feelings of well-being, to feel that confidence, to know, how much your life has value and how much you deserve to really, really go after this once and for all. Okay? So look at the area of your life your paradigm has control over, your perception of things. Oh, it's expensive, it's cheap. I can or I can't. It's too much time, it's less time. Your use of time. Have you seen your use of time improve even in this 5 days? Your paradigm is in control of your creativity. Your paradigm controls your effectiveness. I was all over the place. I was a mess. I'm extremely effective. I grow a lot of my own veggies. I've got a few businesses. I've got more clients than I've ever had. I've got a bigger team than I've ever had. I'm a very effective man. I'm at all of my kids' football matches pretty much, apart from tonight. I go to most trainings. I'm a very effective man now because I've changed my paradigm. I wrote that into existence. I wrote myself into existence. And productivity. Your paradigm is a direct result for your productivity. There's a gentleman studying, as I said, with his wife. Both of them have felt their prosperity and productivity increase. It's incredible. It's incredible. All right, so let's go and we'll remove that, and then we're going to put on my big screen here. And before we bring Megan on to ask some questions that you've been sending in and typing and giving to the guys, I just want to go back and remind you of the offer that we have at the moment. So, for example, when you invest 6,900 into your future, you work with our company for 6 months. That's sufficient, but we're adding on 3 more months. So for 9 months, just think about how much you feel after 5 days, 5 1.5-hour sessions, might add, 5 1-hour sessions with me, and 5 30-minute interviews from really remarkable people. Well, 4, but there's a 5th one about to come on, another remarkable person. So Megan, you're up against it now. You got to be remarkable. But guys, look at how you feel. Look at the changes people are seeing already. 9 months of this on a full-time basis. And by the way, the amount of time you spend in the masterclass far exceeds what's necessary to be a member of the Academy. An hour a day maximum, maybe 2 hours if you want to tune into all my calls, but you don't have to, but people do. They really do. We have people that tune into everything. So why do you need that? Well, what mentorship have you ever had? Like, what are you waiting for? Why have you not allowed yourself the opportunity to have a mentor? Roger Federer, one of the best tennis players of all time, he's got a mentor who never won a major championship. Why would he need one? Why do all the top people have mentors? Okay, then you get the Thinking into Results program, which is 12 digital lessons. Why do you need that? Well, what are you studying now? They have questions that get you answers that you need to answer. I'm answering the same 14 questions from about the 20th of December to the 7th of January every year. And it's helped me to go from turning my monthly annual income into a monthly income to turning it's just crazy kind of stuff, but that's okay. I'm not going to be, it's not boasting. It just is what it is. And I thought I couldn't afford it when I started. Okay. So, and it's not just because I do this and I'm a consultant. I have other businesses and other business ventures and other ideas and, multiple sources of income. They flow to me on a continuous basis. Thanks be to God. But because I wanted it. That's my wants. Your wants could be to find someone to share your life with. It doesn't matter. These 12 digital lessons change who you are. You're studying the best material. It goes back over 100 years in the making, this program. You've got the workbook. Well, if you're just listening to stuff on YouTube, you're only tantalizing and teasing your ears, maybe a little bit of your heart. But writing and reading and repeating gets you to get your conscious and subconscious together as one. And then your new paradigm accepts the new information and you think, act, and feel in a new way. So it's not just a program, it's a life-changing thing that we all need. And I still use it. I'm still studying to get to the next level because I want to. You get the 4 live weekly calls. Well, I can tell you why you need them, but just think about what it's been like all week. That energy, that confidence, the excitement, the way I'm delivering it, making it very relatable. You're not wandering around anymore going, I wonder who I would pick if I was going to have a mentor. So that's why I want you to look at what we've done. This is what we do, but it's way over the top this week. It doesn't need to be as intense, but we want to give you such a great experience. We do monthly one-to-ones laser calls with me, and you'll also have a call with the person you've been helping out with, your success advisor, and getting involved in a mastermind group with them as well, where people in harmony, like imagine like you've seen people in the chat and they're your tribe, like they're your people, but when you're with them in a Zoom in a very safe space, and they often meet up, like we had people meeting up for coffee in County Clare this week, and we had guys meeting up in Kerry last week. We had gentlemen walking the Curragh a few months ago. They lived in Kildare and met up together. When you meet with other people, like, do you have that mastermind at home? Like, can you pick 5 of your friends that you're going to sit down with every week, and you're going to get vulnerable, and they're going to hold you accountable? You said you'd have this done last week. You said you'd be going after new goals. Like, do you have that now? Can you pick a few people that can come around and talk about the laws of vibration, laws of attraction, bounce business ideas off? You see, the people that are closest to you, when you make a decision that you're going to change, sometimes they can say, why would you want to do that? Because they love you. They would do anything for you. But sometimes they pour a little bit of water on that hot fire that's inside of you, because you see, when you change, you're inadvertently changing them. They're staying behind and you're moving on. So there's something inside of them that says, stop this person. I get it a lot when I say, you can live your life, on Facebook. If I told you could live a better life, oh man, the trolling is hilarious. I mean, it's just like snake oil salesman and all this kind of stuff. But I'm attacking their paradigm. Their paradigm is like, hang on a minute, you've got cans of beer to drink and sit on the couch while you watch the same thing over and over again. You know, you've got what's that thing? Got it? The something box where we're watching people watching TV. What is that? Goggle box, is it? Lord save us. What people could do instead of that. But anyway, sorry. Am I being judgmental there? Yes, it came out of me. But still in all, these are the guys that are trolling me. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I'm challenging their paradigm. I'm challenging their paradigm. I'm saying you can be doing something different, which are flip off, and they slag off, you know. So are you around those kind of people, or are you around people who are in this masterclass this week? And last but by no means least, there's the global client community. I've already talked about that. So look, if you want to work with us, and I know a lot of you do, you just have to talk to your success advisor, say, all right, I'm in, help me how to do it. Let's figure it out. Let's go. Doug said it last night. You got to make a decision based on the vision of the future that you want. You don't even need to have the money in your bank account or your credit card or the credit union or whatever right now. You just need to say, I'm in, I'm doing it. Oh my God. Okay, decision made. It changes everything. Once you make the decision and you say, okay, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm doing it. You will find a way. We've got people who are here. I can see them commenting. They did that exact thing. They did a manifestation stuff with the clients, with the success advisors, and they're in. And they're like so grateful to themselves that they did it. So it's 6,900 for 6 months, which we've turned into 9 months for this masterclass. And then our annual membership, which I think the first 3 people went for, is 12,900. It's normally 13,900, but it's 12,900 for this. And it's not going to be for 12 months. It's for 15 months. So a year and a full quarter. If I get that much time with you, oh my God, we are just going to make magic happen. Magic. All right. Amazeballs. Let's do it. Okay. All right, guys, that is it. I think I don't think I have anything else to give you tonight. So yes, homework. So the homework tonight, there isn't necessarily, do you know what? Let's get a homework. I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to pick winners of the homework competition, and I'm going to give them a phone call tomorrow. I'm going to give them a one-to-one, half hour or an hour. Probably goes into half an hour the way I talk. But I want you all to take a picture of your goal. Pardon me. I want you to take a picture of your fears. Some of you, you see, when I was an acupuncturist, if a child came in, they had eczema, or they'd really like excess yang conditions, heat, irritability, insomnia, like frustration, there's a technique where you actually kind of squeeze, not the big toe, but the second one, and you squeeze it up till it gets red. Like we used to do when we were kids, you'd make the blood go up to your finger, and when you just prick it, it releases heat. It's a stomach point, and you prick it, and the heat comes out, stomach yang. And it gives you the smallest dot of really kind of a dark kind of a blood. It's a very strange thing. Straight away, their temperature drops, their irritability drops. Like, it's incredible when it happens. When you don't get your stuff onto paper, that's why you need the workbook and you need the materials and you need to work with us, because it's around inside you, like that toxic blood, that extra hot blood inside in the patient, and it's circulating all the time. I want you to get your fears down on paper. Like, I'm afraid to do this. I'm afraid if I fail, I'm afraid of this. And I want you to take that sheet and tear it off and go outside and be careful and light it up. It's a very calm night. Hopefully it's calm where you are as well. And watch that thing burn, baby, burn. Just go and burn, oh, burn, baby, burn. Burn it, burn it, burn it. Yelena, don't put the clip of me singing on Instagram, please, okay? Burn it up, get it going. Because you know what happens? These ideas are just nonsensical things in your head. It's your paradigm making you afraid. When you write it down, it goes through your shoulder, through the pen, through the ink, and onto paper. Now it's on paper. Now it's not gone yet. It's still somewhere in you, somewhere outside of you. I want you to look at that page and say, are these fears in me, or are these fears on this paper? Are these fears in me, or are these fears on the paper? Are they in me, or are they on the paper? And eventually, they'll be on the paper. And you're free from the flipping fear. You take it outside and you burn it. Now you're changing it again. One of the laws of the universe is the perpetual transformation of energy. H2O, hydrogen and oxygen. H2O, is it 2 parts hydrogen, 1 oxygen? I don't know. But it's H2O. And next thing, what happens? It freezes into ice. It's heated, it turns into water. It's heated, it turns into steam, ether, whatever, it's gone. Gone. The perpetual transformation of energy happens with the fear as well. Get it down on paper, burn it away, put your photographs up. Yelena will put up a homework thing, and you put your pictures under that. And we're going to do, Ernestine will do a randomized thing, and I'll call up somebody and I'll say, congratulations, you won, and we'll do an hour together just talking about your goals and talking about where you're at and what you want to do, okay? So that's your homework. And that concludes the masterclass. I want to say a massive thank you to Laura and Ernestine, to Elena Dusan and Megan. The 6 of us have been working together to put this together for a long time. I want to thank all of our team of success advisors who have been taking such great care of you. I want you to send some love in the chat for those people. I want you to feel the fear, do it anyway, and type in the chat, put yourself on the hook. Guys, I'm doing this 12 months. Guys, I'm doing the 6 months. I'm in, feck it, and then just like drop the phone and scream. Okay, but just do it. Just do it. Take the energy you're in right now and don't let it run around inside in your body, because it will turn into indecision. It will turn into fear, and your paradigm will get you to go to the shops tomorrow and forget all about it. And it'll fade, and it'll fade, and it'll fade. And it sucks. And I don't want you to stay there. All right. So thank you to all of those people. Thank you to all of the people that contributed to the masterclass. Arash Vasagi, Dave Conway, Frida, I will not pronounce your surname, Egestrom, I think it is, and Doug Dane. I always call her Frida. I've never called her by her surname, so pardon me if that seems ignorant. Arash, Dave, Frida, and Doug, thank you. You're not here, but thank you for helping us so much. Thank you, Bob, for cancelling, because what you did was you allowed us an opportunity to show the guys that we keep our attitude right up there. And in fact, the team gave me a gift to kind of cheer me up, and it's been working a treat. So everything happens for a reason, and he'll be with us again in the future. But I really want to thank you all. I want to thank my 3 little doggies here for not barking throughout the masterclass. I was like, it's going to happen, isn't it? And that's it. I have no more to say. I want to thank you, the attendees, for being our best masterclass we've ever had. I'm not taking away from all the other masterclasses we've had, but to see the numbers on this level consistently throughout, it's been inspirational. And last but by no means least, I want to really thank the members of the Academy who are already engaged with us, who already invested, who've already done all their work this week, and they took the time to come in here and pour their heart out onto the screen and to say, look, they're the real deal. You see, what happened was I just held a pen in front of them on Monday and I said, you will say good things about us in the masterclass. No, but they came in. They're brilliant. And look, it's incredible. I'm going to probably take some time to go back over the 5 lessons and read through all the comments. I haven't personally thanked you guys, but everyone in the masterclass, everyone in the Academy that took the time to come on over here and to inspire these new people to step out and make their own change. I want to say a massive thank you to you guys. It's incredible. From starting out on my own in the shed in my granny's house to see you guys, pushing us forward. Words can't describe it. So thank you. We're on a mission. We're on a mission to really be one of the best personal development companies in the world, and I'm glad you're a part of it. Every one of you that have been on this week, stay close to us, keep following us, join us in the Academy. If you can't and you're not going to, and you're really trying all you can and you still can't, just stay close to us, keep following us, keep watching what we're doing, and we're just going to keep getting better, and we're going to keep serving as much as we can. So now, time for me to bring somebody amazing in. Some of you may not have actually seen her, you've just been texting her, but here she comes. Megan Casey, come on in.
Hello, hello, hello. Well, Declan, first of all, I want to start by saying, in the spirit of all the gratitude there, I want to thank you personally as well. The feedback from this week has been absolutely amazing. And, you are on a mission to help more and more people have access to this material and to be able to apply it. So it's been incredible. Organize amazing guest speakers, and as well as that, the way you deliver it and the authenticity makes it so relatable and that people can actually understand it and use it. So thank you. And I agree as well. Thank you to everybody who showed up this week for themselves. They did the homework, complete with dancing videos and everything. So the dedication and the discipline that people did to actually do the writing every day. So you're here for a reason. And I know a lot of people have made their decision to join us, and I very much look forward to working with you. And I think from this week, what you can gather is that we are very committed to helping our clients get the best results. Like, we were really dedicated to that, and we look forward to helping speed up that process for you. So what we're going to be looking at this evening is there's a group of people who are in the decision-making process. And as they've started to go outside that perimeter of the comfort zone, the paradigm is saying all kinds of different things. And what we want to do is get a bit of perspective from Declan and myself on a bit of clarity on why that's happening and to get a bit of perspective on those ideas, because everybody who's here, all the success advisors of the team, we've all made that decision. We've all felt that fear and moved through it, and we've been there, and so we know what it feels like. We know what it felt like, and what we found is that when you take action on your goal, it dissolves some of that fear. Yeah. So, and really what we've seen as well is that it takes a bit of bravery to back yourself and to trust in your ability to adapt to these changes that you're making. So, yes, we're going to go through a few of those questions with Declan, some of the main questions that people have been asking.
All righty.
Can you hear me all right?
Loud and clear. You're doing a great job. I think we're welcoming Marion and Claire and Sinead. After seeing these people, everyone's saying congratulations. So clearly they've typed in the chat, and now they're maybe they're reaching for, it's a Friday evening, they might be reaching for a tub of ice cream or something. You're grand. You'll be fine. It's the best decision you've ever made. We're the real deal. Anyway, go ahead, Megan.
Yeah, so there's been a few different questions, and we want to go kind of through them, Declan. So we have a few different ideas, and this is just the paradigm talking. People have made the decision they want to join us. The paradigm saying all these different things. So I'd love for you to look at those through the lens of having coached a lot of people through this, through the fear, through the paradigm, everything. So the first one, this is a really interesting one, is obviously we're talking about achieving goals, goal achieving, goal setting, achieving. And some people came here this week with their goal very clear, and some people don't have their goal yet. So I suppose a commonly seen question that we have is that, what if I don't have my goal, or I don't know my goal? Will this work for me? How will that happen?
Okay. So what I'd say to that is, you are not in charge of, your heart has been beating every hour today. When you're asleep last night, it's beating. If there's a fly flying into your eye, you blink. Like, there is something, you shave your hair grows back. Like, there's a life force that is constantly there, constantly trying to mind you and take care of you. You often hear it said, like, if you go, you're more at risk of dying on the way to the airport than actually flying. But when you think of every time you've gone around a bend in these Irish roads and rainy conditions with trucks and everything around, like, you're being taken care of no end. There is an energy flowing to you and through you, and it's always trying to help you to do good and do well and do more and have more and experience the more of life. But it's just waiting for you to ask for what you want. And if you don't have a goal, then you haven't been asking for what you want. And why are you not asking for what you want? Because you think you're a Megan Casey or a Declan O'Donoghue, or you're not your name, you're not your surname, you're not your body. You're an incredible, unlimited being that can just say, this is what I want, and this is what I want. So when you start thinking about what you truly want, not what you think you can have, not what you could probably get, your wants. I was texting a girl today, and she was talking about the next thing, and she even mentioned, I'd like to work with you guys, maybe, this kind of a thing. I says, whether it's with me or whether it's opening an ice cream shop or whether it's doing whatever, I don't want you to think about that. I want you to think about the life that gives you. What do you want from life? Do you want to spend your life with somebody? Do you want to spend your life on your own? Do you want to spend your life traveling? Do you want to spend your life giving money away to people? What is it that you want? People know what they want. They're not sitting down and doing it, Megan, long enough. And you know how long it takes. We tweak the goal. We work with the goal. I know some of our clients who joined recently have been over and back with me and you, working like some of the clients you welcomed into the academy. You've worked with them extensively on their goal. They've rewritten it. So when have you ever written out a goal with, when have you ever written out a goal with anyone? So it's really normal not to know what you want. All of my seminars that I've opened, I stand at the top of the room and I say, good evening, you're welcome. And I say, I have a question for you. What do you want? And I say, nothing. And you could cut the tension with a knife. Most people don't know what they want. They know what they want deep down inside, but they're not asking that question. So the answer is, when you go ahead with us in the academy, we will not let you progress until you've got a goal that you absolutely love. Absolutely, you love your goal. After that, you see, you're going to energize that goal, and the goal is going to bring you around like a puppet on a string. It's going to put you where you're meant to be. It's going to get people to call you that are meant to call you. That's what that couple are experiencing. They're thinking about what they want, and his phone's ringing, and her hair salon is getting busier, and that's how it works. Vibration, attraction.
I love it. And you had a lovely way of describing this there recently, Declan. You were saying that, if you imagine your goal or the wish fulfilled as city center, and we're all going to city center, and some of us are taking a long scenic routes around, and some people are going straight there. And it's not a race. Like, we're all in our own zone going towards our own goals. And the thing about it is that it's a process. And we're here to support that. And like that, it's new for a lot of people to start asking yourself what you do want. So this is a new concept. And we put a lot of energy into our goal and goal setting. So yeah, really like that.
See, we feel like we don't deserve it as well, and that's another
deservability
side. That's another side to the whole thing. Next question.
So next question is, and I definitely think I can resonate a little bit this week. Meet a lot of people who are very busy people, very high achievers. And one question is, will I have the time to study? You touched on this a little bit earlier, but what would you say for people who are worried about the time accountability?
So look, I mean, one thing I noticed, June and I did this, we were living in my granny's old cottage, and we did this as a couple, and she was driving from Portmagee to Killarney, and she'd teach all day, and then they'd meetings, the Crow Park hour came in, so there seemed to be a meeting every evening. I was in the clinic in town. I would drop the kids off in Ballinaskelligs for the creche. I had like 2 different drop-offs and pick-up times, and it was just mad. It was just madness. And then we started studying as clients, and we found ourselves lunch boxes done, bags put away, and we're sitting down and we're having couples time on the couch. What are we doing? Everything was tidy and clean. You see, it's not about time management. It was about Declan management. It was about June management. It was about Megan management. And you could be the most organized person, but I talked about it on the last slide there. Your paradigm is in control of your effectiveness and your use of time at the moment. So no matter how meticulous and how good you are, I knew it happened. My mom, my dad, my auntie, my uncle have pulled up outside. That's all right. I'll do the sign language, All right. So no matter how successful you are and how organized you are, I guarantee you've got more time. I guarantee you've got more time. So but look, let's actually give them clarity. I said it already. If you're not willing to give yourself a half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour, I know some people, I think you used to fly at it. I'd give an hour doing, but I think Megan, you'd go through the video and the worksheet pretty fast. But I'd be a bit slower at reading and writing when I started this, and I love it now. I actually spend way more than 2 hours a day studying and meditating and different things. So yeah, the time is there for everyone to do this, and you have to really make a decision for a different set of results. You need to put in the time. You have to.
Yeah, I love that. And you mentioned a little bit earlier about, clearing some of the non-productive actions. Like, that time is there, the time that's gone into Netflix and watching this and watching that and doing these non-productive actions. When you clear some of that, you get the time back. So it's a really interesting one. And like that, as you said, the cost of any goal is the mental and the spiritual coin. And we have to be prepared to pay that price to actually make those changes. Okay, another good one, again, sticking with the theme of time, is timing. So, a lot of people are here saying, it might be a better time, next week or next month or another time, like a better time. So what would you say to people who feel like, it might be the right time?
Well, I love this one. We got a gentleman here, Jonathan and Lexi. Well, not a gentleman, Jonathan. We got Jonathan and his amazing partner, Lexi. They're very close to having their first little baba. I was in their home. I went to see them after a seminar in Killarney, in Tralee. And I went over to see them in Killarney. And I said, okay, great. So we're going ahead? And they go, yeah, we're going ahead. And I was walking out the door, and Jonathan goes, like, it was November. And he was like, okay, so we'll start then in April. And I was like, it's like, why would you start in April? And he was like, well, if I do this, and this, then I'll do that. And I was like, man, you could, like, what is it you want to do? We talked about it. And I was like, well, why would you wait till then to do that? And it was just, I never thought of it that way. We form habits of, I'll do it after Christmas, I'll do it in June, I'll do it. I would see that as an expression of the paradigm being at the wheel. It's like, oh yeah, I'll get Megan to put it on the long finger. We will be a distant memory. The feeling you're having right now, it will be a distant memory unless if you're in that vibration, you feel like doing it, just make a decision, talk to a success advisor. They'll help you out no matter how long it takes. They'll guide you and mind you. But I would not put it off, because I've done that myself with other things. Even this material with Bob, I was 18 months. And I always say it, I'm grateful that Arash and his team must have had me on some spreadsheet. They kept ringing me. We don't actually do a lot of that, like intense following up. We just nurture people throughout. But no, it's the time is now. Again, I say there's 100 of us here. There's 6 million people in this country. Why are you here now? Like, if this energy is flowing to you and through you all of the time, and if it will give you what you want all of the time, why would you wait for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months to do it? If you can organize your thoughts, change your vibration, and attract what you want now, surely you should learn how to do that now. That's the best honest answer I can give, really, Megan.
I love it, and I love that quote. They say, you know, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, and the next best time is today. So, you know, now is the next best time. And we have everyone in the academy, and inevitably people say, you know, I wish I found this X amount of years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. But you're here now. You're here for a reason, and the time is now. So I really like that.
If we think about that example, Megan, right? So I'm going to liken you to a tree now, my dear. You and yeah, do it. Go on, do the tree. All right. That was I actually think you did it like a tree impersonation. I'll have to watch it back. But anyway, you came to a seminar. Your friend Rachel saw it on what was it? On, I think it was LinkedIn, Facebook or LinkedIn or something like that. Like, if she made the decision, come on, let's go. And you were like, okay, let's go. And actually, I think I remember back, it was probably raining in Galway, surprise, when you came along. But another decision that preceded that was I was really dissatisfied with the amount of people that were sitting in my seminars, and I wanted more people. You know, maybe it was for results, but maybe it was for ego as well. Empty chairs is not good for a confidence, motivational type of an evening. So I hired a girl, and it was a lot of money. And I remember going, oh my God, I'll wait. I was like, why would I wait? You know, she was a very good salesperson. She still is a very good salesperson. And she was like, why would you wait? Your seminar rooms are empty. If they're full, do you think you'll make more sales? Yeah. Well, why would you wait then? I was like, yeah, you're right. But I was really like, I was hardwired to wait. A lot of us are. Wait, procrastinate. For what? Surely the pandemic has told us that there's no time to put on the long finger anymore. You know, we should just take action. And you learn how to take action all the time. It's like, yeah, I'm doing it. Decisiveness comes with a paradigm shift. Mike Cott, I wish I found it 30 years ago. You're growing younger. You're like Benjamin Button, Mike. You're grand. You're grand, man. You needed everything that you did to get to where you are, and you inspire me, Mike. I tell you, I love that guy. I look forward to meeting him as well sometime as well. Hopefully soon. Go ahead anyway, Megan. Next question.
Yeah, and I just on that, you know, like, there's no coincidences. Like, everyone is here for a reason. Even thinking about my own story, and my friend Rachel saw it, and the odds of all of that lining up. Neither of us were really big into social media. The fact that she saw it, the fact that we were both free and we went, and it just went from there. And, you know, it kind of backs my favorite Rumi quote. He says, "What you seek is seeking you." Everyone here sent out some kind of a signal. I was sending out some kind of a signal. We're all just a bit stuck and looking to express more of that potential. So yeah, so we're all here for a reason, and you know, like.
What was your goal and what's your outcome from that night? After that night, what was your goal and what was your outcome?
I just remember going, and I didn't have any expectations. I didn't know anything about it. I just showed up, and I was just absolutely blown away. And I think somebody talked about it. It might have been a Rosh, is that it's like a truth that you feel like you know that it's the truth, like this material, and it makes sense. And I think everybody here has a bit of experience with the laws sporadically, but the goal is obviously achieving them consistently. And I knew from that I wanted it, and I wanted to do this, and I knew I wanted to make change.
Rachel? What about Rachel? What's Rachel like? What's your result now? Like,
so I suppose, just to look back on that, you know, I suppose maybe I'm the dreamer and she's in reality a bit more, and her reaction was a bit different than mine. I was in, and we didn't know how much it was going to be or what was involved, but I was going for it. And I remember we got off the call with you, and Rachel says, we need to find everybody he's ever worked with and see, you know, what's going on and if this is a thing. And I was just like, gosh, you know, and it just goes to show like the different paradigms. But I thought about it, and I was just like, you know, it's obviously nice to do it with somebody, but I had made a decision that I was going to go ahead and do it because I knew it was right and I knew the timing was right. And so there'd be all kinds of reactions. And like, I think we both experienced a mix of feelings about it, but again, it's going, and we both did it. So we both, and Rachel has absolutely amazing results as well. So we're both a testament to having done the study. We love a bit of study ourselves. So
But I just want to get to not get to the point, but I maybe not asking the question well. Am I right in saying that both of you wanted to end up changing your careers, working for yourselves? And I think she had a special goal that she's also achieved, that celebration in, you know, down near home. Yes, are we allowed to talk about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they both work for themselves now, and she got her own dream home as well.
Yeah, and I just visited a couple of months ago, and like you, when you're speaking about your home, the energy there is truly amazing, and it's her energy, it's the energy she has in the house, and that was the wish, and she's living in the wish fulfilled. And the same for me. Like I knew I didn't want to be doing what I was doing back in 2019 when I met you, and I've moved away from pharmacy completely, set up my own health coaching business, and I work in this incredible academy. So yeah, it's been Bob Proctor, he says it in lesson 1, you'll need a telescope to look back at where you were. And you hear that and you think, oh, sure, look.
Yeah.
And it's so true. Everything is different. Yeah. Everything.
Yeah, and look, you're helping a lot of people to do that as well. They're all, you have to read back the chat. It's like, Megan's amazing.
I can't see it at the moment, so.
Yeah, but that's like me. Do you see the way my paradigm? You were trying to give me a bit of gratitude, and I got up and turned on the light. I was doing it.
I knew you'd love that. I was like, I'm powering through, because it has to be said, and we all mean it. And
an inability to take compliments is an old paradigm.
I thought you were leaving. I said, there he's gone now.
That's it. Just goes to show it. It's so persistent and pesky, the little bugger of a thing. All right, let's get one more question, and we'll see where we're at time-wise. We've been pretty much on the 1 hour and a half. Yellen is delighted with my new timing paradigm. But no, it has to be an hour and a half. So let's take 1 or 2 more, and let's bring it in for a landing, as I always say. Go on.
Okay, so we'll go with another one. So a lot of people, who are in a relationship and they think, okay, I want to run it by my partner, for whatever reasons. There's different reasons for that. And there's different expectations of their reaction. And it can really influence the decision. So what would you say about that if their partner maybe isn't into this material and is maybe a bit negative towards it? What would you say for those people?
Yeah, well, look, first of all, I would say definitely don't do it behind your partner's back. I think we want this information is too good for you to be, to be doing it in the wrong vibration. I want you to be honest with the person, and I want you to do it. And I want you to, the first thing I want you to do is don't presume that's the way they're going to behave. Because when I came to June saying about certain things, she would sense it. Because she loves me, we've got children together. She knows if I'm happy or sad, if I'm truthful or not. And if I went in and says, if I was scared to ask and say, look, if I was scared, she'd pick up on it. So first of all, I would visualize her, or visualize your spouse or partner, whatever it is. They don't deserve for you to want something and to hold them in that light in your subconscious mind, for you to presume they're going to be objective to it. Presume they're going to say, okay, because I guarantee you, if you presume that, and if you really want to do this and you want to talk to them about the investment or about whatever, you don't go and speak to them until you're completely calm about it yourself. You've got to sell it to yourself before you're going to sell it to anybody else. And that's essentially what you're doing. You're selling them on an idea. They have not been here all week. They've not experienced it. They don't know me from flipping George Michael, okay? And they have a load of questions. And if you go and say, right, so this is course, and it's great, you're going to change your life and everything. I mean, what would you do? You'd be like, but if they're anxious inside, you pick up on it. If you're anxious, they'll pick up on it. So that's the first thing is you better discuss it with them. I don't want anyone sneaking around. I think it's not good. It's not good energy. Secondly, discuss it with them and just have a chat. Third of all, get on a call with me if you want me to talk to them. If you want your success advisor, I'm sure they'd be happy to do that. Do your research, check it, do it like Rachel and Megan did. But yeah, that's a very important thing that you do. You presume the best of them, hold them in your best light. Guarantee you they want the best for you. And if they know that this is good for you and you know it's good for you, there'll be no problem there. That's my best answer. And people are often surprised to hear that. I think it's unfair for us to presume the worst of them. And I also want to say, if they're nervous about it, it's probably out of love for you because they're worried about you and they think it's something, that you're not going to benefit from, that kind of thing. So think the best of them. Yeah,
and I think it's so true because, at the end of the day, it's your life in that relationship or that friendship, or it could be a relationship with a family member. And even myself and Rachel, like if one of us decided to not go ahead, the other person would have to decide for themselves. It can't be. And sometimes I think as well, people's paradigm tries to, say that this is the reason, I can't because my partner might say this, or my friend or my family member. So it can just be, everyone's paradigm cropping up. And the thing about it is that sometimes It's the energy with which we tell them. If you go and tell a family member and you're nervous, they're probably going to pick up on this energy and think, gosh, what's this thing that Megan and Rachel are going to do? And like, it's kind of a strange energy, but it's the nervousness possibly from you. So we have to give them a bit of like that. It's hard to explain, you know, this. And even Yelena and Dushan, like Yelena was at the seminar, so she was in the hub of it, of the energy, and then to actually say that.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But look, I mean, she didn't have to go home and ask Dushan. We all know she's the boss, you know. It's great. They're not here to defend themselves, but they're such a great couple. What else was I going to say? Like, there was something else about that.
I just want to jump in on that. I would say that make the decision for you, because it's going to benefit your partner, your family, your friends. It's going to benefit everybody around you, because that energy is contagious, and it enhances your life and the people near you. So it's going to benefit them, and it's just again about that believing in yourself.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I was going to say. Arash, actually, I was on the call with him, and he told me I want to speak to June, because he asked me what would she think about me doing this. Because I want to speak with her. So like, that's the best way to be. I'm proud of the way that we do that. It's not like, oh, so look, sorry, an argument there. Okay, I'm on my own, recently separated. What about making the investment in yourself when you're afraid of using all that money on yourself? Okay, well, what I would say, Sinead asked a question here. I'm on my own, recently separated. What about making the investment in yourself when you are afraid of using all that money on yourself? Well, when you say all that money, it's relative to other things. You know, I will say to you that over the course of the next 12 months, you are going to spend that money on something anyway, generally. I mean, we had a lady in the academy who was always saving money for a rainy day, and then she had these things that she wanted to do. And then she was like, if I'm saving for a rainy day, I'm going to have a rainy day. So she decided to take the money and get rid of what's hanging over her. And it's given her such great freedom and confidence. What I would say is that you are worth the investment. And, you know, when the world throws us, like June and I put on a patio, for example, I didn't know if it was going to be $4,000, 14 grand, or whatever. You know, if there's things you want to do, you want to buy a new computer, or if there's things that are forced upon you, if something breaks down, you have to buy it, you have to buy it. You see, when someone makes a decision, Sinead, I found this myself. I make money work for me. So when I didn't have it, and you know, I was 35,000 in debt, I made it work for me. But when I made the decision, the universe gave me ideas. It's like, well, look, you get a bit there and you get a bit there. I would actually keep your savings. Like, I'm taking off the law of attraction hat now. Like, I'm a businessman as well, and I make money work for me. I take some money, I'll put it in an account. I might get a loan against it, a business loan, and I make the business pay that off. I was like, that's personally a thing I like to do. I'm not saying you should do that. But if it's 6,900, if you're going to do the 6 months, I would take like 700 out of your savings or something and put it in an institution and just say, hey, credit union, if I give you this much, will you give me that much? And then you're kind of paying it off like that. But that's literally just, I'm not advising everyone to get a loan. That's just something I do. I make it work for me. I walk in and I say, hey, how's it going? I want, you know, whatever to do this. I want you to help me to get it. And they kind of look, oh, that's it. They don't get asked that way all the time. But persuasion is a very powerful force. And if they say, I'm sorry, you don't qualify, so be it. But at least you're going in and you're saying, this is what I want. I'm doing a course and I want you to help me to get it. How do we get on? And then you just take it from there. What are you going to say? No. But at least you get to hold on to your savings, and then you're doing your work with us. But what I have found is there's a very good story in Think and Grow Rich where he talks about, or maybe it's in The Science of Getting Rich. He talks about you have to be fair with money, with business, with people. You got to give more service than you're getting, like value for money, essentially, but value for money in service, value for money in thoughts. If, like, when we're dealing with the clients, we're always thinking about their best interests. When we're thinking about you guys, we can't work against the law. Like Doug said last night, a pen falls because it's using the law of gravity. There's a law of cause and effect. And if I'm telling you something, Sinead, because I want you to get into the academy, I'm ruining your chances in the future and I'm pushing away a client. I'm speaking with the laws. I'm telling you, honestly, this is the way to make it work. But what he talks about is, if you went up to get seal furs from the Eskimos, and he said, if you took up a painting worth $200 and you exchanged the painting is worth $200 for $200 worth of seal furs, then it wasn't a good exchange, because the value exchange is not fair. He can't use that for anything. But if you took a $200 rifle and you give him a $200 rifle for $200, the exchange value is phenomenal. He will forever use that $200 rifle to get more. Now, I personally don't like the story, loving the SEALs and all that stuff, but it's a story from a very, very old book. But we have a woman, she's a global expert. Her name is Martha Adams. She's a friend of the Academy. She's a global expert on money. And what she would say to you is she has properties in the millions. They're investment properties, apartment blocks and all these stuff. She said the best investment that she ever made was, she was Doug's client, actually, was working with Doug Dane in this material that we teach, because she says it is a value that keeps giving her more and more. Minus 35, 3 kids under the age of 5, asking a woman that I wanted to be the provider for, can I please get that last few fucking grand out of the credit card, pardon my language, to going to somebody who's like talking about hundreds of thousands of euros in a month in business. It just doesn't make sense, Sinead. So when you fuse with lack, you get lack. When you fuse with opulence and prosperity, you get prosperity. It's a very long answer, my dear, but I feel you, and I want to give you the best answer I could. Okay, Sean, if you leap, you don't worry about jumping, just do it. Yeah, Deirdre Reardon, you're worth the investment, Sinead. More important relationship you have is with yourself. Yeah, really good answers coming from everybody. Someone says, do I have a refund policy? We've never, ever had to give a refund. I've never entertained it, but I do believe that it's in the contract that there are no refunds at the start. But I know that there's been, it's not something we ever, I don't think really people start if they ask about refund policy. I think we would just say, well, you're not ready, then why would you be thinking about quitting it? That would be my thoughts on that one. I would say don't start if you want to get a refund, because you're not committed to your goals at all. You're not banking. You're not betting on yourself. You're open to yourself wanting to quit. So you shouldn't start at all. That would be my advice to you there.
Yeah, and one thing I want to touch on as well, you mentioned there about the in-use value. Like this is, okay, it's 6 months or 9 months or 12 or 15 months in the academy, but this is when you expand your awareness out, it never goes back to where it was. So like you're going to get that in-use value for a lifetime. Like it's continuous. Your mindset's with you day and night. So this is an investment in that long-term way of thinking. And it's really a way of living. Like we see it with everyone in the academy. It's a way of doing things, a way of thinking about the world, living in harmony with gratitude, serenity, everything. So there's a lot of different elements that come through from studying this material.
Yeah, very, very good. Sinead, I appreciate your openness here. So I'd like to, if you want to have a chat with me one-to-one, let's do it. I really appreciate your question. As I say, who's the guy? He's like, I'm feeling you. I said it already. I don't know, it's from some television program. I found myself saying it. So I'd like to chat with you about that if you want to. Megan, have we another question, or will we let these people go away and have
we time for another question?
Yeah, I have time.
One quick thing, because this comes up a lot, is, a lot of people see people here and it's all about businesses and business this and business that. But, a lot of people are like, what if I don't have a business and my goal is personal? And we do see this a lot as well. So I'd love to hear some thoughts on that for you, some perspective, if it's a personal goal.
Okay, so I can definitely speak for myself. When I want to see who asked that. Somebody said, somebody asked a question about business there in the chat. Megan, I don't know who the person is, but they said, can it be used for business expense? Yeah, this course is inclusive of 23% VAT, so you can write off for that, and you can write off as a business expense, as far as I know as well. So that's something a lot of people are like, right, off we go then. So yeah, I put a lot of personal development through my business as well. I study a lot of different courses and stuff like that. Yeah, legitimate business expense, it can. Thanks for asking. So Megan, the question was, again, it was about, is it for business?
Well, you have more of a personal goal. Yeah, if it's not all business and I want to do this in my profession, I want to find myself or really get happy in my own mindset, that type of a goal.
Yeah. Lesson 1, day 1, you start writing out your personal ones and your professional ones, because I don't know too many business people who leave the kids, the wife, the husband, the whatever at the door and go to work. Everybody takes home to work. Weekend plans, night plans, elderly, my parents are getting elderly. You can't switch this thing off. Like it's going to be like home life when you're at work. When you're at home or when you're at work, how's work, dear? When you're at home, how's work, dear? How's work, dad? Work comes home with you and home goes to work with you. It's a personal and professional journey. If you are longing to find someone to share your life with and you're at the desk, you're thinking, you're daydreaming, whatever. So no, this is a thinking program. We attract people who are successful and want to get to the next level. That's typically what we find. I know everybody in this call is very successful in their own right. and they know there's more to unlock. And that's what we're doing. We're unlocking your thinking, and you can use it for diet, love, business, just confidence, just finding yourself all over again. Sometimes, and I think, to be honest, it's finding the real self for the first time ever. That's the thing, you know. That's the thing, Megan. So that's a good question.
Yeah, and I think as well, what you'll see in all the different things is that, you know, all the people, even all the big results and everything that people have achieved, is what everyone comes back to is that peace of mind, that calmness of mind, the responding versus reacting, that lack of like frustration over small things, just clearing some of that and interacting with life in a new way. And I think that that's really the biggest win overall. So regardless of if it's kind of more personal, more professional, like you said, they're mapped together. They're both highly important. So it works for all aspects.
Yeah, comment here, 350 grand in debt. I'm at a wall. I love the class, but how do I go forward? I would speak with your success advisor and see what would help you. But I know that we worked with somebody recently who had a greater level, a greater number. And because of that, they were procrastinating on getting that goal ready. And I was like, no. You don't deal with the problem and get the goal ready. I need you to get this module done. And the minute they got the module done, they started connecting to the results that they wanted, and they got back what they wanted plus 10K, which helped pay for the course plus change. So I don't want you to think about debt from this moment on. Whoever put that comment in there, Bernie, never again. We're all with you. Don't say the word debt. Just think about prosperity. I'm going to get 350 to get myself here, there, the other. Honestly, I know it's hard to, but fuse with, I'm so happy and grateful for the money I've got. I'm so happy and grateful. I'm easily and effortlessly buying presents for everyone for Christmas that I want to buy. I'm so happy and grateful. You know, there's other people are going to conspire to help you to get that. You're not going to pull that out of a tree. There's other people out there that are waiting for you to get onto a vibration so that they can conspire with you to help you. But you're on a vibration here of the debt, and I don't think anyone will forgive you for being at maybe a low vibration at times when that's a pressure. But I'm so grateful for your comment, and I want you to please take these words into your heart. Take those eyes and don't look at that anymore. We both know it's there. Big deal. It's there. We can't do anything about it. Well, we can do something about it, but it's there. Now there's another reality of you being back in prosperity, and I want to be talking to you at Christmas time or after Christmas time on another masterclass and a live video going, like I just typed in the chat that night. Please get on to in thoughts of opulence. Start thinking about what you would do tomorrow if that's all gone, and start thinking about what you would do. Who would you treat? Where would you take them? What would you buy? And get onto that level. Get a vision board about yourself on that level. Talk to your success advisor about being on that level. And that is a place. You would never settle probably for a minimum wage job again. And once upon a time, it was a big deal to have your own job. You probably have lived a life now on a much higher level of income. And I know you'll be there again, but you change your life before you can change your life again. And I guarantee you're going to learn something from this process that is setting you up for some much, much greater future endeavors, and you'll probably help a lot of people along the way when you get out of the situation. I guarantee it. And thank you for sharing that with us. And anything I can do to help, just let me know.
Yeah, the thing about it is that we've worked with a lot of people with debt, and it just all starts with a desire to make those changes. Like, it is possible to turn it around, and it can feel like a pressure. And that's the thing about, it does take a bit of a shift to get into that abundance and prosperity mindset, but that's where the goal and the resolution of that debt is there, and the money that you want to see come into your life. So it does take a bit of a shift. So I love that person's honesty there. And again, it is possible. That's the thing.
Yeah. Megan, there's a chapter called Serenity in the book by James Allen called As a Man Thinketh, and he talks about, people who are fussing and fuming and worrying and grieving. I was angry at the world. You know the song, there's a band called Rage Against the Machine. I was raging against the machine, and I was in a bad place, but I was blaming the government and I was blaming things. I actually got on the Go bus from Galway, which was a £5 return, and I went to Dublin, and I protested with about 6,000 people there. And I was standing outside, and it was the night that Brian Lenihan and Brian Cowan signed over certain things to the IMF. And it was a massive night in Irish history. And I looked up and down the street, and there was the smell of weed in the air. There was alcohol. There was a lot of messing going on. And I thought, you know what? This is not how I love this country, and I love the people here. And I thought, this is not how I'm going to affect change in this country. And I made a decision that I was going to do what I'm doing now. I didn't know I'd be doing it through coaching. I thought it would be through entrepreneurship, and I'm doing both. But when I see that story, I just think, maybe you're not entirely responsible for that level of debt. I know there's apparently 98,000 mortgages under pressure, and I don't believe that they're under pressure entirely on their own responsibility. But what I will say is, we are the people responsible for getting ourselves out of it, and there are people there that will help. And I want you to think about help. I want you to think about opulence. I want you to think about that there's people that love you and they will help you and they want to help you. There's services and supports. Think about them and you'll attract them. And forgive the debt, let it go, release it, totally let it go, and think in prosperity from this day forth, okay? You're going to get there. Totally going to get there.
Yeah, and I just want to add there, you said about letting go. There's a lot of letting go in this whole process, letting go of old beliefs, letting go of old ways of doing things, and really shifting that. And it is that, especially when it's been going on for a while, even if it's some hurt or something like that, you can be inclined to hold on to it. But we just need to let go and start shifting that, because when you start shifting the energy, like you said, Declan, the help, the support, the ideas, the opportunities, you attract that back and you magnetize that which is like itself. So if you switch it onto a radio frequency of opulence, you start to attract the ideas back of that.
Yeah, very, very good. Okay, Megan, we'll bring it in for a landing because I need to go pick up my kiddos from their aunties. She had them for the night so I could do this evening, and also the dogs are starting to tear lumps out of each other, so it's time to feed them as well. Guys, again, massive thanks to everybody. Thanks for all the questions. Yelena, if you have a second, would you mind just typing the names in? I think we saw Martina, Marion, Sinead, different people who have said they're in, and I just want to publicly congratulate them and welcome them. Yeah, this week has been so inspiring. Thank you. And what's inspiring me? In spirit. You see, we're a spiritual being living in a physical body. All the ideas are out there when you give yourself and you give your spirit time to dream and think and believe and visualize. And you got to get around a community that's going to help you to do that. And still, don't quit your day. What is it? Don't quit your daydream. Don't quit your day job. You can do everything that you're normally doing, but you're just going to be turning on this high octane thinking, and the stuff's going to happen so fast. You just won't. Your head will be spinning. So thank you very, 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 very much. I'll just wait one more minute. Claire, I think it's Claire. I know. So anyway, there's Claire and Marion and Martina, I think. So welcome to you, and welcome to everybody else who's already enrolled. And look, more of you are going to be coming in tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. The guys are going to be sharing some testimonials over the next 3 days, and then Tuesday at 12, it's closed. The cart is closed, and we go back to dealing with people who are already in the academy. So make your decision, open up your heart, believe you can do it, and find the way. And you'll find the way. Your success advisors are there to help you as well, and they'll walk beside you. We don't walk behind people and push them. We don't go in front of them and with the machetes and cutting away the jungle for them. We walk beside you and we guide you and show you how to do it. So contact them. Oh yeah, Martina, Michael, and Owen, and Claire, and a few others as well. So thank you very, very much, and welcome aboard. I'm looking forward to getting to know all you guys. So Megan, thanks a million. Everybody, goodbye. That's our masterclass over. Cut, and we'll see you again soon, okay?
Thanks, Declan. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, Enda O'Leary, I'm in. That's the last word of the masterclass. Enda.
Congrats and welcome, Enda.
It's a good omen. My mom wanted to call me Enda, and my dad picked Declan. So Enda,
there you go.
Bye.